Okay, so the last unit of the year is going to start preparing you for your next algebra course next year. So we're going to talk about something we didn't talk in the beginning of the year, absolute value. So this lesson should mostly be a review for you. Okay, so what is absolute value? Absolute value represents the distance from 0 on the number line, okay? So if we look at a number line, it's 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 2, -3, -4, -5. Okay, so the first example, absolute value of 3, okay, so 0 is over here, 3 is over here, and to get from 0 to 3, of course, you're going 3 spaces, right? But what about -3? Well, to get from 0 to -3, we're still going 1, 2, 3 spaces. It's just 3 spaces backward, okay? So it's not any difference in the number of spaces. It's just the direction, east, west, left, right, okay? So the absolute value of -3 is still +3, okay? So what we want to fill in here, absolute values must always be positive, okay? There's no such thing, positive. There's no such thing as negative distance. Either you're walking one way or you're walking the other way. You're still walking a certain distance, okay? So absolute value 4 is also 4, and absolute value -4 is also 4. Okay. So you should have known all this stuff in middle school. You certainly saw it. What we're going to be doing these last few lessons are solving equations and inequalities involving absolute values, okay? So we're going to start off with some really basic absolute value equations and get into some more advanced stuff in the following lessons. Okay, so take a look at number 1, absolute value of x equals -4. So this is like saying what numbers are 4 spaces from 0. Okay, so from 0, well, +4 is 4 spaces away, and so is -4. +4 is 4 units right, and -4 is 4 units left. So the numbers that have an absolute value of 4 are 4 and -4. Okay? So number 2, absolute value x equals -3. So which numbers have an absolute value of -3? Trick question. We said right here, absolute values must always be positive. You can't have a negative absolute value. There's no such thing as negative difference. So this one would be no solution. Okay, number 3, you should notice is a little different. Number 1 and 2, the absolute values were isolated, okay? And they have to be in order to solve. So what you want to do before you can solve, you want to get rid of this +1. So we're going to move it over to the other side with subtraction. So that gives us the absolute value of x is equal to 5. Now we're going to use the same logic as number 1. So when you have absolute value x equals 5, that means it's asking what number or numbers are 5 spaces away from 0. Well, that's going to be +5 and -5, okay? And you're going to just enter your answers online with commas. Okay, number 4 is not isolated either. So we want to move the 10 over. We're going to do that by adding 10 to each side, which gives us absolute value of x is equal to 6. Okay, again, logic should be going through your head is what number or numbers have an absolute value of 6, or what number or numbers are 6 units away from 0. that's going to be positive 6 and negative 6.